Okay, so I'm going to record this little bit that I'm doing real quick so that we can get a lot of this stuff done and over with. So let's go over the season 2023 recap. Of course, a couple of guys did retire. Nothing too special off of our team. I know Julio Jones retired. Tajay Spears did win Offensive Rookie of the Year, at least for the total NFL, as well as the AFC, of course. So he does get AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is pretty special. We'll go over stats here in a little bit. We do have some upgrades to take care of to get players overalls rounded out. Going to upgrade slot on Caleb Farley. So he is currently sitting at an 83 with morale, and then 84 now. So these will be upgrades that we will have to get done for Caleb Farley going into the next season. So he is looking pretty good. He is an 85 X Factor. He does have bottleneck currently. Unfortunately, Tajay Spears didn't get an upgrade to his dev trait, but did get another upgrade, of course, for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. We do have Jack Gibbons on the team, so that is kind of interesting. We did keep him on the practice squad. I think it was Jack Gibbons that, because he's the slow one, right? 78 speed guy. So we could technically keep him. That would fix the issue with Monty Rice. We do still have Racy McMath, who I really like, who played really well in the preseason. Trey Wolf is an interesting one because he did kick fairly well for us in terms of just short-term stuff. So I don't know if I'll keep Nick Folk around or if I'll just end up picking up Trey Wolf to continue his storyline going. Some of the guys I don't really care for all that much. We're just going to auto-upgrade the rest. It's more about overalls than anything for us right now going into the next season. And so I just want to show off the roster a little bit currently. So Will Levis, Malik Willis are going to be our two QBs. Tajay Spears, Deshaun Haskins are the two running backs are the only two running backs I really care about currently. Hopkins, Burks, Phillips, Stevenson, Dow, and McMath. Those are our 6 receivers going into the next season, all looking pretty good. We do have to get Stevenson back. He did have 5 return touchdowns on the year for us. So he does need to come back. That is a big one I would like to bring back. Of course, the other 4 should still be on the Titans. I think Colton Dow actually ended up on the Texans. I think he got released from the Titans at some point, and somebody else did pick him up, as well as Racy McMath. But I'm pretty sure they're both practice squad level players on the other teams, so we should be able to bring those guys back, no problem. Quanquo is definitely coming back. Of course, Wesco, Wiley, those are all 3 guys that are currently on the Titans. DeGuara should come back. I think he's on practice squad for Green Bay. If not, he's not that big of a deal. He was going in free agency anyway. Brevin Jordan, another one where, depending on his overall and the role he plays inside the Texans scheme currently, will determine a lot. He is going in free agency, so we won't be able to bring him back anyway. Tongs was a practice squad pickup who ended up getting signed at the end of the season. Duncan Dillard, I don't have to worry about. Mafi is a weird one. I don't remember how good he is with the Patriots currently, so that will also be another guy that we could unfortunately lose. Peter Skoronski, we're keeping Hainsey. We did trade for and we did send Sean Murphy-Bunting and another player for Hainsey and picks. I know Brewers went up in overall, and I think Hainsey has went down. So we're still going to do that trade. Unfortunately, we'll just have to pretend that Hainsey regressed some way. Brunskill, I think, is going into free agency. I think Raduns is going into free agency, or one of them isn't. I don't know. But all these guys should be fine. O'Day should be fine. I don't really care about him. He's been on injured reserve since fucking preseason, I think, or week 1 at least. Jameer Sailors, we will have to get back. We did make a trade for him. It was realistic. We're going to get him back. Nicholas Petit-Fier, he should be coming back as well. Jack Driscoll normally gets released and doesn't get picked up in the offseason. And John Quantro, I don't really care about him enough. If he's on a team, I'm just probably going to leave him, to be fair. He's 25, 62. I could find a better 4-string right tackle in the draft, John Kaminsky and Mario Edwards, I'll leave them be on their teams. Michael Hoyt, I'll leave be as well. All these guys were going into free agency, so I just won't re-sign them. Jeffrey Simmons is coming back. Tart, I think I'll let walk. And then Thomas Booker and Tyler Shelvin are both guys that I could let walk as well. I think Thomas Booker's on the active roster for us, so he'll probably get released. Tyler Shelvin, though, he was on practice squad. I don't really care for him enough to be fair, he's another guy where I could easily draft somebody in the 6th or 7th round that would be a 67 and easily replace him. Osai, I'm bringing back. I did trade for him. Arden Key, I'm bringing back. Shair, I'm bringing back. Buddy Johnson, I think, is normally in free agency, so I'll bring him back. Chance Campbell, same deal. Dylan Moses, same deal. Jack Givens, I think, will be the Monty Rice replacement. I think we'll let him just stay on the Saints for now. Harold Landry, Alton Robinson, and Sam are all fine. They'll probably be coming back, but Robinson will be going in free agency. Sam, I don't really care for enough. He's 26 at a 60. He's not going to develop. Cashman, on the other hand, I think is like a 75, so we will have to let him walk, unfortunately, and stay with the Texans. Caleb Farley, like I said, up to an 85 with X Factor, so we'll get that done. Roger McCreary, 80, 79 or so. Yeah, 79, normal still. It's going to be tough developing him. Jordan Lewis, I don't really care for. He's going into free agency. Elijah Molden will be back. Kelvin Joseph, I think, is also going into free agency. Thomas Graham and Isaiah Dunn, if I really want them, I can keep them. They were practice squad players that did get signed. JT Woods I did trade for in part of that Chargers trade. Kevin Byard as well. I haven't completely decided if I'm going to keep him. Hooker, Moore, and Thompson, all guys that I should bring back. Moore and Thompson, I think, are both unfortunately heading to free agency, but they are low enough overalls where nobody's really going to go for them. I think I'm going to continue the Trey Wolf storyline, and of course we do still have Ryan Stonehouse. These are the draft picks that we do have. We have our first, Rams first, our second, Rams second, Rams third, Tampa Bay's fourth, Chargers fourth, our fourth, Rams fourth, New England fifth, Rams fifth, New England sixth, and Vegas sixth for this year. We have our first of next year, Rams second of next year, our second, third, fourth, fifth, New England's fifth, sixth from Denver, sixth from Rams of 2025, and our sixth as well. And then 2026, we have our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, Carolina sixth, and our sixth of 2026. Because I think we only get like 2 picks for Byard, and I'm pretty sure it's like 2 sixths. So I don't really want to trade him for that. I'm willing to trade Byard, I am, but he will have to go for more value than what they got in real life. I'm sorry, I'm not trading him for a sixth. I'm either keeping him or I'm trading him for like a second at minimum. So that is something that you guys can... If you guys want me to trade him, we easily can. I'm just saying it makes a lot of sense for me to keep him more than anything. When I do restart the franchise as well, I don't think I'm going to do owner this time. I think I'm going to do coach. It gives you more opportunities to get upgrades to your players, more like involvement. So we're going to go check out stats real quick just to show you guys what happened this season. So Will Levis, 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, 15 picks, 58 completion percentage. Just not very great. The picks at the end really just added up. Malik Willis, I do want to go into Will Levis just to show you guys how bad this was. If you guys watched the franchise, then you'll know. So don't take wildcard stats for what it is. I had to resim it because it did not save the stats. So yeah, 3 picks against the Jags, 3 against the Texans, 3 against the Seahawks, 3 against the Texans. Like, he came in against the Colts, played fine. He started in he played in the week 8 game, played okay, 2 picks. Just, we were down a lot. I brought him in. He just didn't perform well. Jaguars, he played a little bit, didn't perform great, but not bad. Started his first game against the Panthers. Played well against the Colts, played well against the Dolphins, and then it was just downhill from there. Like, in this 4-week span, he threw 12 picks and only 3 touchdowns. So, there will be a conversation about whether or not we keep him at starting quarterback going into next year. Malik Willis, decent year, just some issues later, especially injuries and stuff. And then Will Levis just being a rookie, the hype around him, stuff like that. 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 6 picks, 56 completion percentage for Malik Willis. Tajay Spears, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. Malik Willis, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Will Levis, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. And Hassan Haskins, 259 yards, 8 touchdowns. Nobody else to really note. D-Hop, 1,200 yards on 56 catches, 11 touchdowns. Treylon Burks, 666 yards, 4 touchdowns on 45 catches. Kyle Phillips, 606 and 2 touchdowns on 34. Tajay Spears, 528, 55 catches, 6 touchdowns. Chig, 34 catches, 518 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Wiley, 20 catches, 208 yards, 1 touchdown. Colton Dowell, 10 catches, 121. Josiah DeGuara, 11 for 98. And nobody else really worth noting, to say the least. Blocking, I don't care about. Shair had 150 tackles, pretty insane. 4 guys all reaching 100 tackles. 7 guys reaching 90 tackles. Simmons with 25 tackles for loss, Shair with 21, Harold Landry with 19, Asai with 14, Rice with 13, and Tart with 12. Sacks, Jeffrey Simmons had 13 from the inside. He played, apparently had a lot more sacks than I thought he did. I thought he was going to be below 10. Asai with 8, which really sucks because I think he had 2 in one game. I think he had like 2 in like I think he had like 3 in the first like 4 weeks or something. So he kind of fell off a cliff. Harold Landry, 5. He had 1.5 through 8 games. So he definitely ramped it up in the second half. But still only half a sack a game in the second half. Just not very good. Especially the amount of money we're paying him. A pick as well. Tier Tart, 5 sacks. Shair, 3. Monty Rice, 2. Amani Hooker, 2. Arden Key, 1. And Mario Edwards, 1. Elijah Molden, half a sack with Hoyt as well. Picks from Caleb Farley, Kevin Byard, Shair, Caleb Farley with 13, 5 for Byard, 4 for Shair, 4 for Molden, 4 for McCreary, 2 for Hooker, and 1 for Landry. Caleb Farley, just fucking incredible. I don't really care about the rest of the defense stats. Like I said, Trey Wolf, really good, just not from distance. He went 4 for 7 from 50 plus. So, that is unfortunate. Stonehouse did well. Punting just isn't very great when you do it yourself, I've noticed. Stevenson, like I said, 5 return touchdowns on the year over. If he would have been at least an okay receiving threat, even for us, he would have reached 3,000 total yards. He gets a lot of chances based off of how much the other teams were scoring, but still, that's it for that. I'll show you guys in-season awards you can no longer look at. Nice. So yeah. So yeah, those are the stats for the 2023 season for the Titans franchise. Hopefully, I can get a lot of the stuff correct and moved on to the next franchise going forward. The only other thing that I really have to look at would be the transaction report, just for players that we've re-signed for the most part. Here are a lot of the retirees: McKinnon, Harris, Julio off of our team. Nick Folk retires, so I don't think we'll really have to worry about that if he does retire in the next franchise, in terms of the restarted franchise. Taysom Hill, I kind of wish I could have went out and gotten if he didn't retire. Hopefully some of these players don't retire, because I would like to try to get some of them. But so like I said, I would go to like re-signed, and I'd be like, okay, let's see who got re-signed by us. Okay, Marquez Stevenson got a 4-year 4.5. Shair signed a 1-year 8, and Tier Tart signed a 2.19. Just take the Tier Tart one off. We did sign Shair and Marquez Stevenson. The rest of the guys we will have to re-sign in the new franchise, of course, and all that fun stuff. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video or any of the videos here on my channel. I think I might just make this a separate video, just discussing the 2023 recap real quick. So yeah, there's plenty of question marks. We could go almost any way. I think the biggest issues, like I said in the last video before I signed off, is definitely offensive line and the defense just entirely. I think the receiving core can wait a year, and also be addressed partially in free agency. And then I think the quarterback room can wait another year as well. Running back, I'm not worried about. We got Haskins, we got Tajay Spears, and I like plenty of guys in free agency that I can always go pick somebody up. So I'm not too worried about that. Like I said, I'm not worried about the tight end room. I think that's fine. The receiving core is fine. We could draft somebody late if they're super athletic. But I'm probably going to spend like 3 or 4 picks on the O-line. At minimum, maybe 3 at minimum. I'm going to spend probably most of the picks on the defense side of the ball, whether it's corner, safety, linebacker, edge rusher, D-tackle. I'm probably going to have to take 1 or 2 guys at each position, if anything. But like I said, if you guys enjoy this content or the content here on my channel, if you guys like, the rebuilds, the franchise stuff, the roster updates, or anything, I'd appreciate it if you guys do stick around and subscribe. We are grinding. We have reached 2,000 subs. We are monetized now, which is also awesome. I appreciate all the support you guys have shown on the videos. Roster updates for both Madden and 2K will be kicking into high gear, especially with the trade deadline around the corner for 2K and the offseason in a month, basically. It's February now, so it's going to be a fun time. But with that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.